Hey guys, Shane with One Shift at a Time. How you doing? Saturday night. It's week 7 of the Power Rankings. We're halfway through the season, so let's jump right into it. Number 8, as seems to be usual, the Buffalo Sabres. Another 10-game losing streak. Wow. I said last week that there's going to be big changes in Buffalo. I can only imagine what's going to happen now. Number 7, the not much better Devils. There's going to be a shakeup in New Jersey as well. I can't imagine that anyone is happy that they are still in a rebuild phase this long into it. Number 6, the Rangers. They had a good week 2 weeks ago. This one, not so great, but a big win tonight against Boston. That's really going to help them out. Number 5, the Flyers. They've lost too, but they haven't done really bad. They're definitely not out of it like the two teams at the bottom. They just need to shake this off and right the ship, as it were. Same with Boston, number 4. They have had a bad streak the last 2 weeks, hence they've dropped. They're gonna drop more if they keep losing, but I'm not too worried. Teams go through funks. Number 3, the Penguins, going the other way. Man, they've turned it around. 5 wins in a row. They're not having to come from behind for these victories. They're winning them. So just good on the Penguins. They're starting to come into form. Number 2, the Capitals. Again, coming right into form with Ovechkin and everyone starting to play much better. I'd watch out for the Capitals. But number 1, the hottest team in the NHL, the Islanders. 10 wins in a row. Can you believe that? That's 20 points. It doesn't matter what division you are in, that is going to put you with a big leg up. So we'll see you in the next one. All right, we're off to the Central, and in 8th place we have the Red Wings. This division too, like the last one, I'm gonna have to say the teams at the bottom are falling out, and I don't see them catch up. Most teams have at least one of these. Some have a couple more. This one might even have 3. But definitely the Red Wings start us off. They're 28 games into the season, and they don't even have 10 wins yet. They have 8 wins this season. Yeah. Ooh, Detroit's got to turn it around. Number 7, we have Nashville. Nashville is also just not playing up to their potential. I think a lot of people had them pegged near the top of this division when the season started, but it is just not the case. They can't score. They're minus 29 goal differential. And yeah, they're in another 3-game losing streak, so they really need to turn it around. Over 6, we do have Dallas, the Stars. I mean, they've only won 8 games too, but they have played 5 games less than Detroit. So not as dire, but I don't know. I think it's pretty dire because they started out pretty strong, and since then they've not shown a lot of fight. Watching the games, they're not showing a lot of inspiration there. Then we have number 5, Columbus. Wow, Laine, is he going to be out as fast as he came in? Because he looks frustrated. He does not look happy. Torts does not look happy. The whole team just had the frustration. That could be the whole theme of Columbus right now. It is not a happy time to be a Blue Jackets fan. Number 4, the Blackhawks. Not playing horrible, not playing great. They're doing this win one, lose one. They need to streak a couple together and put a push on as the season comes to the end. But they are currently in a playoff position. So number 3, the Lightning. You'd think the team that's leading the division would be in first, but there's just 2 teams that are playing really good hockey as well. And so just in the power rankings is not, it's not the standings. Otherwise, we would just look at the standings. Power rankings is more of a week-to-week look into things. So number 2, we do have Florida. Wow, you want to talk about surprises. This is probably where a lot of people had, say, Columbus or Nashville pegged in. And no, I don't think a lot of people had Florida. I really am pleasantly surprised that Florida is doing so well. I love getting proved wrong, and I love an underdog story. And the Disney World fairy tale is coming true down there in Florida. Number 1, the Hurricanes. They continue some just amazing play. They're 7 wins in a row now, plus 26 goal differential, and the best part about it, all 3 of their goalies are really playing well. Reimer and Mrazek, especially, just holding it all together. They've got, of course, Dougie Hamilton. They've got some decent D there as well, and again, they're scoring in bunches. So look out. That's the top three in that division are really looking in form. And we'll see you in the next one. All right, guys, we are off to the West. And the Ducks. Oh, man, the Ducks. Again, 29 games in, and they only have 8 wins. It's another just team that's just fallen way too far behind. I don't see them making a comeback. Watch for them to be big sellers at the trade deadline. Number 7, the Coyotes. I think this is an example of how strong this division is that the Coyotes are in 7th place, even though they're barely below 500. I think they can get a couple wins in here, and they're right back into it, because this division is so close. I'd say only the Ducks are really out of it. The Sharks were out of it, 3-game winning streak, and hey, they're not looking so bad now. I mean, they are at 500, whereas Arizona was slightly above 500. But currently, I'd say San Jose is playing a little bit better hockey, so they get ranked a little higher. Number 5, we have the Kings. Again, they're not really that far out of it. They haven't been playing the best hockey as of late, but it's so much better than they started off the season that I've got to slide them into the 5. Number 4, we have the Blues. Rough week, and end of last week too. They're on a 4-game losing streak, and they have to watch it. Again, in this close division, they could drop off very quickly if they're not careful. But they do have a very solid team, so I'm not too concerned. But 4 wins in a row is a good amount of losses in a shortened season. Number 3, the Wild. They need to bounce back tomorrow against the Coyotes. No doubt about that. Again, this is such a tight division. They need all these wins. Big game for both. So watch for that game to be a very tight game, and all the points are so valuable in that division. Then we have number 2, the Avs. I wasn't really worried about the Avs a couple weeks ago, and now they're really coming right back into form again. They're just scoring at will. I think they still have room to improve, which is probably the scariest part. They're playing well, but I think they can be better. The only team better is the number 1 Vegas Golden Knights. I feel like a broken record every week having them number 1 and saying the same thing, that they are just looking like an amazing team. They are +7 in the goals differential. They've only lost 6 regulations, 1 in overtime, so 7 losses all seasons, and Marc-Andre Fleury is playing amazing. So watch out for Vegas. I know I said that last week, but watch out for Vegas. We'll see you in the North. All right, and off the North to finish it off here. Number 7, it doesn't change, unfortunately. The Ottawa Senators. They had a couple decent games a couple weeks ago, but it's all in rearview mirror now. They're on another 3-game losing streak. They've got Toronto tonight. Vancouver after that. Both of those teams are playing very well, so I don't know, we'll see. Big test for Ottawa coming up. Number 6 is those Vancouver Canucks. Talk about a tale of two teams. This team has good streaks, and it has bad streaks, and I mean, last night they beat the Oilers, which was good, but they were outplayed the whole game, and they were very lucky to come away with that. They're not going to keep winning if they're chasing games like that all the whole time. Number 5, we have the Canadiens. There's another team that's just been dropping. Really good start to the season, and now the last 3 weeks they've just been losing. They fired their coach that seemed to help for 1 game, and then they're back to losing again. So they really didn't look good in those 2 games against Calgary. Calgary really controlled the play the whole time. They only had 2 goals in 2 games. They need more. Number 4 is the Flames team. This team looks like a totally different team under Sutter. They played 6 full periods of hockey, which they haven't done. I don't know if they've played 6 out of 10 periods in the past. So really good to see them starting to buckle down, and a lot of the players that weren't playing so well are seeming to really do well under the new leadership. So that brings us to number 3, the Leafs. They finally dropped out of the number 1 spot, and it is quite a drop. They've lost 5 of their last 6. Those 3 wins in Edmonton seem like a distant memory now. Losing to Vancouver twice, then losing the 2 out of the 3 to the Winnipeg Jets. They're coming home to Ottawa, and that's pretty much a must-win because they need to get the momentum. Their 10-point lead over the rest of the division has evaporated, and people are right on their tails now. Brings us to number 2, the Oilers. They were just so close. They were so close to being number 1 again this week, and then they got to go and lose to the Vancouver Canucks. And that's,
even though they outplayed them the whole game, it is a loss. And when you lose to a team that's that low in the power rankings, you got to go down, especially when the number one team, the Winnipeg Jets, beats the former number one team, the Leafs. And the Jets have finally they're really playing well. Man, are they playing well? Both their goalies, Bossois and Hellebuck, are both playing very good. The forwards are playing good. The D's playing good. Like, Winnipeg's starting to look really scary. And I think that the top three spots are looking pretty solid in the north, and that it's going to be Calgary and Montreal fighting for that last one. We'll see if Vancouver can get in. They are 3 games back, 3 games in hand back, and still trailing a point. So they have quite a bit to make up. That's on Calgary. I think they have they're 4 or 5 games back on Montreal. So they really have an uphill battle if they're going to make it. Thanks again for joining me. Once again, week 7. Can't believe week 7 power ranks are already in the books. But if you did like it, please like, subscribe, share this video. Anything you can do, I appreciate everything. Thanks again. We'll see you next week, and hopefully another video this week. You guys have a great one.